vibrations always last. What's up? What's up, Trolls and Tribe? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? What's up, Chosen Tribe? How y'all doing? Let's talk about this, man. Let's have a quick talk before we walk it out, man. This is a lot of stuff happening. Um, it's a lot of stuff happening in our atmosphere. And it's so hard for people to see the beauty when we have so much energy focused on the chaos. You know what I'm saying? I think um it's very important to know how to really look at the good in the midst of all the bad. Like, you have to have a real trained eye, you know what I mean? Shout out to all of the guys and goddesses. You have to have a real trained eye to be able to see the good, all right, inside of all of in the midst of the chaos. And I think that's the problem. I think a lot of people don't know how to identify with the good, right? It's so easy for people to look at the negative. It's so easy for people to look at what they think is negative, because a lot of people fear what they don't understand, you know, and because people fear what they don't understand, it's like they automatically they automatically conjure in a spell on themselves. All right, like, a lot of people are really like casting spells on themselves just because because they fear what they don't understand. All right, and one of my jobs and one of my duties, you know, as a teacher, you know what I mean, as a leader, is to really, really, you know, put the focus where it need to be. All right, so that you don't veer out too far to the left, neither do you veer out too far to the right. You stay centered with yourself, and you can really begin to open and expand your mind and truly understand and understand what's really happening in real life in real time. All right, so if you are new to this channel, first and foremost, we want to welcome you with open arms. I am Real the Messenger. That's right, capital R's, for we can see through our hearts as it was from the start. All right, so first and foremost, before we dive deep, I want to ask all of you beautiful souls that's coming through here a question. And when I ask you guys the question, I really want you guys to be honest with yourselves. All right. So the first thing I want to ask you, all right, is symbolism evil, good, right? Or is it simply a means of communication? That's the first question I want to ask you, beautiful souls, on the face of this show. You know what I mean? Is symbolism evil, good, or is it a simple means of communication, or is it another way to communicate? But I'm already trying to come against the live, y'all, because I'm so powerful. So bear with me, y'all. If y'all see the live glitching, and so, like, hit that like button, hit that heart button, send gifts, all right, because y'all already know who I am. All right, y'all already know who I am. All right, so we don't even got to talk about me. Let's just you know, communicate with one another, and let's just vibe. So smash that heart button. Send a few gifts whenever you see it glitching. So just so we can allow the algorithm to know that we are, you know, interacting with one another. All right, because as y'all can see, they like to come against my live for a reason. All right, as y'all can see. All right, I'm somebody that I'm totally different from your normal teacher. All right, I'm just a different breed. All right, just understand that I'm not better than nobody or nothing. I'm just a different breed, and I qualify to give you guys information far beyond, you know, in a way that most people probably qualify, but I also have a different dynamic because I have really died in real life. Okay, January the 18th, 2019, I got shot on my job. I was working a 9 to 5. I had been there for 5 years or so. And I never had any problems on the job site, but I was targeted by a group of individuals one day, and they shot me. You know what I mean? They shot me, you know, just a regular person, just working. And I was pronounced dead. Luckily, I was brought back to life inside of the hospital. You know what I mean? But in between of the times of me being dead and brought back alive, I had a supernatural experience. All right. And I met some beings that sent me back down here to the face of the planet Earth to do a great and a mighty work. And that's what I'm just here doing right now. So when we are dealing with like certain information that is beyond, you know, the normal human interpretation, I have experienced a realm in reality to where I really went, and I'm, very grateful that I have just been sent back to do a great and mighty work. So I'm a little different when it just deals with the dynamic of how I see things and how I communicate and things like that, simply because of an experience that I had. All right, so I'm different, family, and I'm not a victim. I don't none of those type of things, but I'm just sharing some personal information with you guys, so you guys can really have some clarity with how I see things. So the first thing that I like to ask you guys, I'm gonna ask it again because I want you guys to interact. Thank you so much, Lord Drill. Is that whenever we're dealing with symbolism, all right, is it good, is it evil, or is it just another way to communicate? All right, because if you don't know that it's a form of communication, right, then you possibly would not be able to understand. Okay, let me try to move because it's kind of messing with the live. I don't know why they messing with my live. All right, so if you don't know what the symbolism is saying, then it would be easier for somebody to say, you know what, oh man, that's demonic, you know what I'm saying, that's of the devil. And it's like, bro, do you even know, first and foremost, what they're communicating about? Do you even understand, the communication type? All right, I want everybody to put CCC in the chat group. All right, there's a term over here at the River University that we have. All right, it's called communicative, comparable comprehensive skills. All right, you have to first know how to communicate. Can you communicate with what's going on? All right, can you compare whatever you have to communicate with whatever it is communicating with you? And can you comprehend, the means thereof? All right, we call this communicative, comparable comprehension skills. So within the CCC, we also have something called cultural codes. All right, now when we're talking about cultural codes, we have to understand that what we are communicating is they coming against the law, bro. There's nothing I can do right now just to keep on moving on, because I'm a very powerful being. All right, and I'm a spiritual influencer. I'm a spiritual influencer, bro. So when I got certain messages like this, and when we talk about it like this, they get upset. All right, they get upset. All right, they get booty hurt. All right, because of what I really been through and things like that. But it's okay. It's not about me. It's about we. So we're gonna keep on moving through it. All right, we're gonna hold our energy, frequency, and vibration, and we're gonna continue to heal the nation. You know what I mean, with positivity. You know what I mean, and just staying balanced at the same time. All right. If you do see them freezing up the live, you guys, please send gifts. Send gifts, because I think the gifts help the algorithm know that we are engaging and we are interacting, and not it'll bypass what certain beings are trying to do. We are an energetic people, and as a whole, especially if you know how to really use energy, you really can transmute the energy on these phones. But before you can transmute it, there's going to be some level of distortion that's happening. All right, because we are electromagnetic beings. All right, so when it glitches like that, they just letting you know that I'm very high with my electromagnetism. We call it our morphogenetic field. All right, so I am aware that I have a morphogenetic field, and simply because I'm aware of it, that's enough for them to try to interfere, with the law. But it's okay. They don't really have power like that. That's why they go through these technological devices, because we are biological computers. But let's keep it moving, okay? So when we're dealing with the cultural codes, what we are communicating is what, family? We are communicating. I want everybody to put the astronomical data, with the geological data. All right, you got to know what they're talking about. Okay, so they're using the stars, all right, and they're communicating about the stars across the land. All right, so it's like a holy drama. It's like somebody knows that when we deal with the celestial energies, like what we call angels, we're talking about planets and we're talking about stars. All right, this is what we're talking about. All right, we're talking about planet and we're talking about stars, and how the planets and stars influence, the nature or the nectar on the face of the earth. All right, So whenever you hear the word angels, you have to understand the celestial bodies that they're talking about are the planets. All right. These are celestial beings and stars. Now, do they have their own intelligence? Yes. All right. I want everybody to put in the chat group. It's called cosmic intelligence. Cosmic intelligence. Okay. Because anything that has its own intelligence has its own consciousness, just like artificial intelligence. It has its own consciousness, just like we have something called emotional intelligence, right? We have our own consciousness. Okay. Now, what is the linguistics, right? Or what is the superpower of the cosmic intelligence, right? Because we know that anything that has its own intelligence has its own consciousness. So what is their superpower? Okay, the superpowers of the angelic forces, okay, the ascended masters, the cosmic intelligence is only to observe. That's their superpower. All right. So if somebody asks you, well, what is the cosmic intelligence? It's simply observation. Okay. But if you look at the word observe, I want you to put OB space serve. All right. You see the word serve and the word observe. See the word serve? Means look to. Okay, so when somebody is tapping into the cosmic intelligence, they begin to realize that something is looking to serve you. Okay, that's what observe means. Look to serve. All right, so whenever you got a lot of people that's observing you, okay, they're looking to serve you. All right, now you have to know that you can be served to your highest high, okay, or you can be served to your lowest low. All right, you got to know that moving forward, because now you don't look at beings that are observing you as a negative thing all the time. Okay, you know that you have the ability to evolve around what's revolving around you. Okay, so now you say, oh, well, am I wise enough to assign the duties and functions to things that are observing me? Or can I use my thought to establish dominance to the universe and tell the universe how I want to be observed? Correct? All right, now the observing is just one big observation, a collective observation. All right. Right. So we also have to know, all right, the communicative, comparable comprehension skills so that we can really start establishing dominance within our own divinity. All right. Right. It's not to serve the self essentially, because nothing is really selfish. Okay, Miss Lorena, nothing is really, is to understand servitude as a collective, not just the mere individual process of a selfishness. It's a selflessness that shows you that everything has to be of service to something. All right, that's what it's really showing. All right, and what we have to know is how we want to establish that service. How do I want to be observed by the universe is how we begin to know. All right. Because when we look at it, it's to serve the self. That's more egotistical. That's an egotistical approach. And that's very selfish. All right. So there's a difference between being self-centered and being selfish. So we have to really establish what the communicative, comparable comprehension skills that's happening on the face of the earth plane, and know that they're just acting out, star stuff. Now, unfortunately, all right, for them, right, the powers that were, because we are the powers that be, all right, we are unlocking the DNA template, all right, the dark matter template inside of our DNA. And we are beginning to really know that a lot of the things that they're using, they stole it from us, right? And they kind of like plagiarized a signature to make it seem like that we like, basically it's like they stole something from you and then they tried to wipe your memory so you don't remember that it was the way that you communicated to begin with. All right. And when I say from us, I mean those that are a part of the earth, right? Birthrights, all right, or those that are a part of the turf who understands that we are the true lords of this land. All right, our sisters used to practice Sabaism and they used to worship the stars and communicate the stars. All right, and we had a lot of landlords or people that was dealing with the land. All right, and then this is how we began to really communicate with each other all over the globe. So sometimes that's why a lot of beings are not afraid to dive deep into the symbolism. Okay, so when you see this right here, all right, and they're communicating about the Grand Master, wisdom. Okay, as you can see, this is the grand, see that? The grand healing, signs of distress. Okay, so as we can see right here, as we can see right there, okay, what we're learning about in Freemasonic lore and literature, that they're talking about the 5 steps that it's going to take, all right, for us to cross over, all right, into a place of wisdom. So this is a distress call saying, hey, man, it's time for us to cross over, all right, to the wisdom of a thing, all right, as we can see, all right, as we can see here. Now, mind you, Kendrick Lamar has to be used as a tool, as a symbol of hope, bringing both tribes or both sides of a thing into a common ground, or into us being centered. All right, so we have to know moving forward that the grand healing sign of distress is a distress call saying, listen, fam, we crossing over to wisdom now. All right, we crossing over to wisdom now. All right, we got to really, really pay attention to how we utilize CCC, because once you begin to really understand that they're communicating our language, then you can't look at them as evil, or you can't look at them as demonic. It's all about who knows how to pick up on cultural codes or not. Okay, a lot of the symbolisms is just a way to communicate without using verbiage. All right, very, very imperative to know that as we're moving forward. All right, they used to have a saying called Gomer, Oz, and Debar. All right, G-O-D. And this is what you see on the back of the dollar bill. It's an alien figure that you see. All right, Gomer, Oz, Debar means to end speech. All right, it's called silence. All right, but we know that they're not talking about us being quiet. It's them saying we have the ability to it says that we have the ability to do what? We have the ability to communicate beyond the mere means of words. Okay, that's what Gomer, Oz, Debar is about. So you got a lot of people right now that fear what they don't understand. And because they fear what they don't understand, they automatically say that this is demonic. Okay, because they don't understand how to pick up on the cultural codes, right, telepathically speaking, all right, then what they do is they say, oh man, this is demonic. All right, people fear what they don't understand. In fact, a lot of beings, all right, are looking at you like you're demonic, because they can't control you in the way, okay, because they can't control you in the way that they want to control you. All right, and this is also what we're looking at. We're looking at, there's a certain narrative, all right, that once we cross over to wisdom, that is going to be outside of their control. Okay, it's going to be outside of who is there. There is the fake governmental system that is not even real anymore, that has exited out. All right, we don't have a government like they appear. We are the government. All right, they not like us. Right, they not like us. See what I'm saying? So we have to really, 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 really understand, okay, that the essence, the frequency and the vibration of who has the ability to take control of their rights. I want everybody to put my rights. Got to understand what's going on, fam. We calling out for the stress. And there are 5 steps, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that one must take. All right, that one must walk and pass over in order for them to really, really have the ability to know how to utilize the divine wisdom. All right, which, what are our rights? Our rights are, we are the contractors. But if you don't know anything about contract law, all right, if you don't know anything about contract law, all right, then you're not going to really understand what your rights are, because you don't know how to assign the duties and the functions to other beings. All right, as a being who has established, okay, your rights. All right, so this also is dealing with law and order. All right, we'll talk about that. So unfortunately for them, they mad because we picking up on the cultural codes and we know how to utilize CCC. So how did we know that the Eagles, all right, and the Chiefs, which are 2 tribes on the land that really supposed to work hand in hand, but you got us fighting against each other or playing against each other in the game? How do we know that? We knew this way before, because what, y'all? Because of the cultural codes. Am I correct? All right. What do you mean, real? Well, everybody knew about the plane crashes. Okay. Everybody knew about the plane crashes. All right. Remember Philadelphia versus the Eagle. Okay. Remember they had a plane crash. All right. And the plane was in what? Kansas. Who remember Eagle flight? American Eagle flight? Flight Eagle? Where did it go? It was on a route from where? Kansas. Kansas Chiefs and the Eagles to where? Washington, D.C. was involved. Washington as the government, okay, was involved in an accident to D.C. All right, we understand the cultural codes. Okay, so yes, the Eagles, they made some sacrifices, okay, to be the winners. All right, we have to understand the cultural codes. We got to pick up on the cultural codes. All right, as we can see, they just showing you Washington as well. A long time ago, they had to show you Washington again. Once again, we already knew what was going to be going on with the Eagles, all right, and with the Kansas. So whenever you hear about the plane crashes that was happening 2 weeks before the Super Bowl, here in Philadelphia and Kansas. Philadelphia and Kansas. Philadelphia and Kansas. All right. So, we gotta really know what's going on with that. All right. And I think that's very imperative to know moving forward. All right. Now, this is also showing you guys what these people deal with. All right. These people, they practice Freemasonry. Converted it so much because remember, they cater to the ego. You got to remember, when we use symbology, okay, we was in tune with the nectar or the nature of a thing. Or in other words, we dealt with the true essence or the spirit of a thing, not just catering to the ego. Okay, not just catering to the ego. And as you see, everybody has to, right? They have to die. They tell, I will take your life. All right, there's no time and place for the man, no secrets. This is what they have to rehearse. And this is their way of utilizing what we call death and rebirth. Okay, so we have to know what's going on. And even in the last Super Bowl, there was a Nigerian man. And this Nigerian man was very, very wealthy. He was going to create a new banking system. Okay, and what did they do with him? Well, this billionaire man, okay, same thing, right? Same thing. All right. He had a helicopter and his whole family crashed in a helicopter. And we know that every helicopter has a communication that can tell, like, if something is happening, that we can always communicate. His helicopter didn't have that. And he's a billionaire. So we have to understand what be going on in real life with the law. All right. This was his university, and this was also the name of his bank. All right. So we also have to understand, what's going on. All right. This guy right here. All right. This is the guy who owned the bank, and they unalived him. All right. Around. So that was the sacrifice that was made. All right. And no righteous blood. No righteous blood should be in vain. You got to understand the way we do things here. All right. So it's very imperative to know moving forward that when we talk about Super Bowl, we're talking symbology. All right. Because super equals what, y'all? Super means above, over, beyond. Right. A bowl is a vessel. All right. A vessel. Right. That goes above. But a bowl is also a circle. Right. And inside of that circle is where they use the energy at. It's what you eat. So above the vessel, Super Bowl. That's the etymological terms of the Super Bowl. All right. So we know about it's the energy harvesting system. We know about they're harvesting the energy. We know about all that. But do we understand the cultural codes that is being expressed or explained, the ones that work in our favor? It's so easy to look at all the negative stuff, but can we look at the sweet spots inside of the communicado so that we can really begin to truly understand what's happening on the land? Correct? That's what I'm here about. All right. That's my part to it. All right. Once again, we know that a bowl is a circle. All right. You see the bowl? A bowl is a circle. All right. Now let's look at some good stuff. Okay. So there is a queen Yes, a queen that they looked out to, and this is her right here. All right. She is a queen. Okay. She is the one who created the logo. Right? The logo, how she stitched it in. But what tribe was she from, y'all? What tribe is she from? She's from the Golden Eagle tribe. All right. This is who they reached out to. Okay. So we have to know that what they're saying is we as tribal people are back on the rise. This is what you call the avant-garde. The avant-garde is what we call the advanced guard. All right. The advanced guard is the attire that one puts on to represent, all right, what's going on the face of the land. All right. Let's look at the good and the power that's being established as a people, as a culture, as the real government. Okay. So this is the queen. And ever since she was young, her name is Taj Williams. But in her tribe, she's known as Queen Taj. Okay, so we really got to know what's going on the face of the planet and allowing us to see how influential we are as a culture and how the matriarchy must be restored. As you see, she has the peacock feathers up there. Okay, all right, and then this is just allowing you to understand that America is establishing back its, I don't want to say diplomacy. Okay, I just want to say we are back utilizing our rights. We are back in popular demand. So this queen of the tribe, of the Eagle tribe, named Taj, was, summoned. All right. And like I said, at a very young age, she used to be playing football. All right. At a very young age, she was the only female. See her right there? And she was the quarterback. All right. She was the quarterback, right, on an all boys team. And she was the captain of the team, too. All right. I was captain of the football team in middle school. OK. So it's very, very, and she was a woman. This is just about us understanding the matriarchal energy, how the women is going to be in control of the sacerdotal seat. And there are going to have to be men who know how to execute, this vibratory frequency. There are going to have to be some some upright men, something like Kendrick Lamar, who know how to unite the Crips, okay, in the Bloods, all right, or the demon Crips, okay, in the Republicans. Okay, if you really understand what I'm saying. All right. So we have to know the cultural codes, and this is going to allow us to hold the matriarchy back up. OK, now we also saw the same thing. OK, with their way of communicating about it. And what was their way of communicating about it? When you had Serena Williams. OK, Serena Williams would act as the queen. OK, to say all rise. You feel me? All rise. Okay. She is the one to uplift. Okay. This culture. She's the one, right? And what they're saying, what they're showing us is that everything originated out of this woman. Okay. The blue just represents the maritime law or the water that had to be broken. Okay. So don't think about Democrat and Republican right now. Let's understand nature first. Before we can look at what man is doing, let's understand how nature speaks. Okay, and when we think blue, we think air and we think water. Okay, we think air and we think water. All right, the darker the blue, we think more watery. The lighter the blue, we think air. Okay, so she's representing the law of water, which we know that all living beings come from the womb of the woman. Okay, out of the womb of the woman, we begin to what? Rise above, super, okay, over the vessel, the bowl. Okay, so it's very imperative to know. But guess what? She got some competition. All right, because it's a no good nigga running around here somewhere. Ooh, and he always trying to tax you, ain't he? Yeah, he always trying to tax that ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about he look just like us, dog. He look just like us, and he know better too. Okay, he picking up Irish customs and shit. Nigga, what you got going on? You know better, nigga. Nigga, you know better. All right, you know what's going on the face of the land. And you still choose to abuse your authority, okay? And try to say that we the ones too loud? Okay, look, it's 200 of us in the chat group, okay, right now. All right, don't forget to go follow my YouTube. I just put out a YouTube right now. All right, it's called The Real Way, where we'll be able to have all my long form content on there. So while it's 200 of us in there, I do not want y'all to forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. All right, Go hit the link tree, the Real Way, and we also have the Real University. All right, I think you dragging it. Yeah, I'm dragging it for a reason. Yeah, I am dragging it because that's what they do. They drag they carry out this shit to the extreme. Right? It be the same type of niggas that look like us, all right, that carry out this shit to the extreme when you know damn well we supposed to be coming together, but you done sold out for some money, and now because you got taxed, you want to tax us. You want to tax us. You know what I'm saying? No, that's not how it works, my buddy. All right. So we're also looking at, I want everybody to put this in a chat group, that we are really tax-free beings. Okay, you can't tax us because of how flamboyant we are. All right, because once you understand that we all have security interest, aka prepaid interest, right? Then this allows you to truly understand what? That you also are a tax-free being. All right, it's not just the foreigners that come over here. It ain't just the foreigners that come over here that's tax-free. Why in American culture do we have, no disrespect to the foreigners, but I'm saying why do we have in the hotels, we have different Arabs, we have different type of beings and they tax-free, but the people that's from the land, that's from over here, we don't get the sauce to be the boss and the skills to pay the bills. We got to work hard and slave hard and be extra taxed. Nobody thought about that? This is because we're not executing our rights. We don't know how to what? Assign the duties and the functions and utilize our security interest or our prepaid interest, which is tied to your security account or your social security account. Okay? It be the same niggas like this that be knowing what be going on and don't ever want to tell you, hey, look, man, you know, you really tax free. These niggas are still trying to tax you, knowing damn well that you're supposed to be tax free. All right, so you got to really be paying attention to what I'm trying to show you guys. Okay, I'm trying to show you guys a little something, because once you really look at the good, all right, the good inside of the cultural codes, it will make more sense with how you moving forward. Okay, it's not about running from things that you don't understand. It's not about running from the things that you don't know and then deeming it off as satanic. No, it's about symbology and understanding how to communicate, okay, have communicative comprehensions, comparable comprehensive skills, and understand how they're talking about what's happening in the stars, the astronomical data, and how they're aligning it with the earth, the geological data, okay? This is what they're communicating about, all right? And what's happening right now is we are at the end of a Kali Yuga. We at the end of some bullshit. All right, so yeah, it's still some bullshit, but it's like the last bit of the bullshit, and we have to really take a stand and learn how to execute.
Finish him.
This is for the star seed. We trust in the divine to meet our needs. They will not corrupt our deeds. Yeah, we are G-O-D, children of divinity. We know that our soul came from infinity and beyond. We know that we want children of the sun. Get ready, here we come.